Yeah, let me tell you, I ain't perfect. These other rappers lie to you in verses. I show the fans my heart, not the surface. My whole life a circus.
Muddy Mo. Bing! What's up, crypto world? It's your boy Muddy Mo, aka the King of Minnows, aka the Dapp White Paper. And this is Dapp and DeFi Quickies, Chapter 3, alright? So for those of you who don't know, Dapp and DeFi Quickies is just Muddy Mo's opinion based upon what's going on in the crypto space, tailored specifically to the minnows, those with not a lot of crypto. Alright, so let's jump right off into it. Bing! Alright, so we're going to start off talking about Ghost Token by John McAfee. Alright, so Ghost Token is a new privacy coin from John McAfee. And so what he's done is he's going to give an airdrop of these ghost tokens to those who buy what's called switch tokens, or ESH. The ESH, or the switch token, is going up in value. A lot of people are excited for the ghost token to come and excited about the price just because probably John McAfee is leading that. So, you know, me being Muddy Mo, I got some different thoughts. First off, I don't know if we can trust McAfee. It's just me. I'm cool with new things, and I'm definitely probably going to get into ghost, so don't get me wrong. But, you know, McAfee has, you know, pumped Verge and some other things, and he's all about the bag. My one question, and I might not have an answer to this, but why ESH? Why do we have to buy Switch to get the airdrop of Ghosts? So that makes me think, is there some kind of deal with Switch Token? Now looking into Switch, they got a couple things going on, but one thing we do know is that ESH will be dumped immediately after Ghost Tokens gives that airdrop. So is this planned? Is it a planned pump and dump? But let's jump over to talk about specifically about the Ghost Token. Couple things about Ghost. It's a privacy coin, right? It's supposed to have transactions blocked. If you go through the white paper, it talks specifically to transactions being in escrow. Do your Googling, alright? Escrow means that there's a third party that's going to be holding that information. So who's to say if it's serious enough that third party can't be pressed for those transactions or that history? Is Ghost really a privacy token? I don't know. So now, Ghost Token is based upon staking, and the tokens have what's called a soft cap. And one thing about the privacy is that he's planning to use 2K Snark's proofs, alright? And with 2K Snark's proofs, to make it simple, they can allow both shielded and unshielded transactions. So is this actually a privacy coin? However, there might be a chance of gains there, so when there's gains possible, people are going to jump onto it. One thing I do like about Ghost Token, though, that, you know, when it comes out, we'll see what happened, is that I know that McAfee bought what's called WavesBet, like a gambling site. That might be fire. I don't know. And I guess it's going to allow people to gamble anonymously. Make sure you're careful with your ESH for after the airdrop. And then after the airdrop, what is the use cases that McAfee is going to find for Ghost Token? All right, is this really going to be privacy? And is it really going to be absurdly popular like a lot of people think it will be? I don't know. Ding! For the second quickie, we're going to talk a little bit about Pyrabank and Hex3D. All right, so let me start off talking about Pyrabank. Now, those of you who've been in Pyrabank, you know that, you know, we saw issues coming from a long ways away. Anything from bad partnerships, I think just some bad ideas, and overall, just no development. After PyraHEX came out, that was like it. And you can see that Pyrabank was kind of scratching to keep things together. One thing I will say is that the Tewkenaire platform looked like it buried the first mover, which Pyrabank or PyraHEX was the first mover in the Hex community at least. Buried it quickly. The one thing, after all this time, we've been expecting the first mover going to come out with something crazy next. Tewkenaire to come out with these Hex staking contracts, and they may get you dividends too. Like, what does Pyrabank do? Basically, they come out with Hex3D, which is essentially just Tewkenaire crazy to a lesser degree. But I don't think the people wants that. So as of right now, it hasn't hit 3 million total Hex in their contract, which is terrible. That's not good. Then the next development y'all come out with is a FOMO game, Hex box or whatever it's called. Like, no, bro, no. You seen what Just Game did. Stop playing. And that's a big and. What are y'all doing? No. We seen Just Game, just people put their life savings in the Just Game, but y'all want to make a FOMO game for Hex. Okay, that's not gonna work. We tired of these zero-sum games. We'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, but that is terrible. And also with H3D, this was terribly launched. Like, the initial launch day was pushed back, and it was just all over the place, just sloppy, man. So Pyrabank, is it gone? We don't know. Pyrabank, man, this is a mess. This is a hot mess and a half. So minnows, y'all be careful, man, looking into Pyrabank because things have been going downhill. Not telling you what to do. I'm also still in Pyrabank, so I'm not going to just poo-poo it, but at the same time, know what you're getting in. You already know how we do in this space. Alright? Bing! Alright, so it comes a time in Dapp and DeFi Quickies where Muddy Mo gives y'all a little food for thought. Alright? Just a little something to chew on. So I'm gonna let y'all know right now. It's time out for zero-sum games. They done. It's a wrap. Out of here. No more. All bad, bro. And what I mean by zero-sum games essentially mean that somebody's gonna lose. There's no reason for that. We got too many good contracts in this space for to be sitting up here worrying about a zero-sum game and tarnishing the name of the community. That don't make no sense. Alright, so it's time out for that. Another thing it's time out for, alright, is non-decentralization. We Dapp and DeFi. Them all start with D's, which all stand for decentralized as much as possible. Alright. If our divs or our value is not coming automatically by some type of contract code without a human intervention is needed, it's all bad. It's out of here. No, that does not work. We've seen it multiple times. Alright. Trust the code. You can't trust people. Alright, but this is for my developers that are in the Dapp and DeFi community. If you got these Tron contracts, if you're making these ETH contracts, this is for you. Alright, if you're a platform owner, this space, the Dapp and DeFi community, like these platforms and these smart contracts that y'all are creating, they can be big, man. Like really sit back and I know y'all know. Because we know too. But you have to think long term, right? Put in the work. It's too many platform owners that's not willing to put in a little bit of work, which can bring a lot of gains. Put in the work, and then what you need to do is hire or find volunteers who are willing to help you, especially with overall direction. A lot of ecosystems have no overall direction. I get it. This stuff is new to the world. You're creating it as you go. I get it. But at the same time, failure to plan for success means that you're planning to fail. Now, devs, listen to me. Let the people lead the direction of some of the smart contracts in some of the ways. All right. We've seen that dictatorship stuff does not work. All right. It's more talent in the community. Y'all have to reach and ask the community to help you. It's nothing wrong with that. People want to be a part of something. Let them be a part of y'all contracts in some ways. All right. Let's make this space as dope as possible. And it starts with y'all as developers. All right. Reach to the people. Bing. Now, on to the third quickie. Hex.Business. All right. And more specifically, within that, Hex Money. And I can't even really call it a smart contract. All right. Hex.Business is not a Dapp and it's not DeFi at all. All right. The D stands for decentralized, and it's just not that. All right. Right now, this is not linked directly to a smart contract like other Hex contracts that we've seen. 100% of what people put in here as far as Hex goes to the developers, and then they have to trust these developers to basically pay out them their amounts of Hex each day. Make sure y'all taking this the right way. I was almost a part of this too, because the Hex dividends Hex Money can produce can be a lot in the gist of things. Why are we going backwards? Why are we going back to trusting developers? And we already know that these developers have sold some of the Hex, has sold it already for ETH. So we should be trusting them. Why? Y'all already know, man, it's Muddy Mo. I'm a king of the minnows, man. I gotta talk for the broke people, man. This is not it. This is very risky. But be careful. If you got a high aversion to risk, cool. This is for you. You understand the game. To these developers of Hex.Business, people talking about how good they are. First off, why have a Hex contract to sell Hex? Explain that to me. That don't make sense. If you're for Hex, if you understand the project and you built on top of that project, why are you selling Hex before the project has even launched? We're not even out the AA lobby yet. That don't seem suspicious to y'all? Also, have we not seen this before? Have we not seen this before? It's a fact. People feed off of the greed of others. You have great contracts. You got Hex Max. And especially, I'm talking to my minnows right now. Especially us minnows, we don't have it to lose. We don't have no crypto. All the gains you're doing in all these other sites, it don't make sense to just give it to somebody for nothing. Alright? Because of the possibility of them giving you Hex upon their leisure. In the DDC, I want to let y'all know we don't have to, may I please have my rations? I just really want my rations for the day. No, we're not doing that no more. That's over. Nobody wants to beg nobody for their funds if this were to go away. Right now, it's moving. But them selling Hex is a big red flag. So, all y'all, just want to let y'all know, Hex Business or Hex Money, don't enter because of greed or boredom. if you look at the reasons why you want to get into that contract, if one of those two things could be it, if I were you, I would sit this out. Not financial advice or nothing. It just feels like a get rich quick scheme. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I've been in this space and I've seen a lot of these come and go. But with Hex.Business and Hex Money, make sure you're cautious, man. This is very, very aggressive and it's very risky. All right. Bing. All right. For the last quickie of Dapp DeFi Quickies Chapter 3, make sure y'all hit that like, make sure y'all hit that subscribe, make sure you hit that bell, all right? But the last quickie is none other than Inventor Hex. New contract from the Tewkenaire platform. You already know, man. Tewkenaire been taking over the game with these Hex contracts, all right? So here we go. We got another sophisticated ROI smart contract, just like Daily Plus, all right? But this is the first one that we've seen on Hex, which is really interesting. That there has not been a lot of hype around it, unfortunately, all right? And it also includes Richard Hart's staking capabilities. And I think all real contracts, real smart contracts in the Hex space, they include the staking at this point. There's no reason for it not to, all right? If it's legitimate, just an opinion. Overall, Tewkenaire is going to be the place for Hex games, period. Over time, it's too much there that makes sense, and I don't think it's going nowhere. Because the instant dividends, you're going to be getting Hex daily drips of Hex for a long period of time. I'm almost sure that other platforms are not going to be able to give you a consistent amount of Hex into your wallet every single day. No contract does that right now. So for people to say, oh, it's the 60% I'm losing, you're not losing 60% unless you sell immediately after you buy. Let's get that clear. What I don't understand is what's the point of how some of y'all move within this space? Is the point of Hex or any crypto to move from contract to contract to make Hex and then get out and just sell at whatever price it is there? Or is there more of a long-term goal to this? Hex has a lot of long-term solid tokenomics behind it. And you got to think, InfiniHEX is one of those contracts that's closely related to what the initial aim of Hex token is. And it's even done one better. Not only get you more Hex from staking, but more Hex from being a part of a contract that's going to give you a daily drip. If you assume if you don't make your Hex back in 2-3 days that it's not a winner, it typically shows that you need to put some work into your long-term objectives of why you're in crypto. A couple quick flips or getting wealthy. Like, which one would you rather have? So InfiniHEX is fire. Y'all already know, man. Muddy Mo might be having a video on InfiniHEX coming soon. All right, look out for that. All right. Bing. All right, so it's your boy Muddy Mo, man. That was Dapp DeFi Quickies Chapter 3. All right. And in this one, you already know we started off talking about Ghost Token and ESH switch. Then we jumped over to talk about the Pyrabank debacle and the unoriginality of Hex3D. Then Muddy Mo lightly dipped his toe into Hex.Business, Hex.Business, what's that's about and the risk level involved in that. And then we ended up talking about the new Tewkenaire Hex project, InfiniHEX. All right, y'all want to hear more? Stay tuned for Chapter 4. Bing!